What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your main man, realBluTV here, of course, trying to be the best analyst in the Roco scene, just like we were in the Paladin scene. But hey, if you're here for some road company information, guess what we've got? It's some news and maybe some trending topics. But first thing first, we've got to get right into the most important thing that you came here to listen about, and that, of course, is being Tier 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Tier 1 has broken up, or not so much broken up, but two people have been dropped from that roster. Now, if you're unaware of who Tier 1 is, Tier 1 was originally a team that used to, I guess you could say, run the scene on the comp side of Roco before the $8,000 tournaments, before any of these big tournaments came up. And it was, basically just grinding these CMGs at the beginning of CMG's road company infancy, pretty much. We had Nash, Gronky, Enzo, and Moho. Now, some of you may know who Moho is. He's still trying to figure things out and get a team with himself and Holiday, who he's been teaming with for a while now. They were the 5th seed going into the last $8,000 event from CMG. And Tier 1 was the 1st seed. So you're saying, what happened to Moho? What happened to Enzo? Well, Nash and Gronky, they moved on. They ended up picking up Nex and Frag out. And guess what? That team started running the scene. They won the first $8,000 main event, the NA only one. They won $6,000 out of that $8,000 from coming in first place. Guess what? They were the favorite, the heavy favorite to go in and win the NA and EU one, the European $8,000 event from CMG. Guess what? They didn't win. At that point, you thought they'd get second, but they didn't. They got 3rd place. They ended up losing to Era Eternity in the winners finals, dropped down to the losers bracket, and they ended up losing to Aim Assist Kings. Era Eternity ended up beating Aim Assist Kings for the first place prize. Aim Assist Kings got 2nd. They made a roster change that helped them get to that 2nd place. Of course, that being dropping NetJ for Neg turned to work out in their favor. But back to Tier 1. So you're saying, who is no longer on the team? Well, if you already know, you don't have to worry. But if you don't, Nex, Nash, no longer on that team. Are they still going to be called Tier 1? I don't know. But Nex, Nash, no longer on that team. So reports are already coming in that Nex has already found a new squad. We'll talk about that in a second. Nash, no idea. The day this news broke to me, I saw him playing in a tournament, a draft style tournament for Rome. I don't know what his next moves are. Is he one of the top free agents right now? Of course. Does he already have something cooking up? Most likely. Look how fast Nex responded. So let's talk about Gronky and Frag out. What are they doing? Who are they teaming with? Well, they could be seen scrimming on Frag out's Twitch channel last night, with their new 2 members being Bop and Kuhl, or Cool Matt, as I know him as, or have known him as for the past 3 years. Cool Matt, Bop, joining up with Gronky and Frag out. So let's talk about this team for a second. They drop Nex and Nash. Dropping Nash means they lose their Trench player, they lose their Anvil player. You could say Dallas. But they pick up Bop, who plays Anvil. He plays the Chalk. He could play the Trench. So you're not missing much there. I would even say it's an upgrade from Nash. Dare I say that? It's an upgrade from Nash, essentially. Especially with the Anvil and the Chalk. I don't think Nash could play the Chalk. Picking up Kuhl, I think, will be the person who's going to replace Nex's role. It's very difficult to see Kuhl play other rogues other than Fixer. We've only seen him play Fixer. The only time, there was a few times we didn't see him play Fixer, and he was playing Dahlia. I mean, we saw him play Saint a few times in the Pro Mod draft tournament from Rome, but again, that's just a draft style tournament. Those are pickup teams out of the draft pool for the players that sign up. So it's difficult to imagine what Kuhl will look like if he has to play those lurkers like Lancer if he has to play other things as well, because we're used to seeing him play the snipers like Phantom and Fixer, which essentially will stay in the hands of Frag Out, most likely. Especially since Frag Out is the better sniper in my opinion, not by far, but I think Kuhl is a definite shoe-in to replace the Nex version of this team. You know, what roles will he be playing? Be interesting to see if he'll be on that Lancer. I think maybe the Dallas would go towards him instead of Bop, but that's going to be something that needs to be decided, most likely, considering the buffs that are coming to Dallas, the nerfs that are coming to the cloaked perk. So that could be a big role that they need to fill. Is this team better now? I think it is. I think that Nex and Gnash are very talented players, but I think that Bop and Kuhl are an upgrade. It's just, will they be synergized? Will the role swaps work out for them? Is Kuhl going to perform on things like he did on Fixer for the STK squad that he was a part of? You know, and can Bop... Well, first off, Bop needs a new PC. He can't be playing on 40 FPS. But hopefully this works out for them. I know Gronky and Frag Out are expecting it to work out, but we'll see how things go. Will this roster stick together? Only time will tell. Now, on to Nex. I already said we don't know what's happening with Gnash right now. With Nex, we know that he's most likely going to be teaming with the 3 members of 7 Deadly Sins, who were the 3rd seed going into the last $8,000 event. They ended up losing in the winners semis 3-2. They were up 2-0. They ended up losing 3-2 to Era Eternity, who was able to reverse sweep that. And the 3 members that will be leaving 7 Deadly Sins are Codner, Ink, and Pix. And they will join Nex. This is, I think, a very good pickup. I think that Ink, Pix, and Codner, their champ pools are huge. We saw Ink playing Anvil. We saw Pix playing Anvil. We know Codner is the Vi player. He can also play some other things and flex onto those. I think this is perfect because this allows Pix to go back to being the sniper. He can play Fixer. He can play Phantom. And we've already seen that he can pull out other rogues as well and play them just as successfully. And with the addition of Nex, this means that he can play the Lancer, he can play these lurks, he can play these entries. We've seen him play Dahlia a few times as well, so we know that he can do that. And that would allow Ink to even flex to maybe a Chalk or a Talon or something else that we've seen him play very well up until now. So does this squad look good to me? Yes, on paper, this squad looks way better than what 7 Deadly Sins did with Leo. No disrespect to him. Leo was a great Fixer. I just, you know, we've only seen him play Fixer. We only saw him in the 8K event. He was, you know, holding his own. But at the same time, with the addition of Nex, I think this roster looks a lot better. Will they stay under the same name, 7 Deadly Sins? I don't know. But look out for this roster in the future, especially if any events show up. This could be huge for them. I mean, hey, that's huge right there. The next thing that was pretty intensive on my timeline was the Fixer GA conversation. Apparently, this is something that is finally going to happen. There's a bunch of teams and players finally agreeing concretely that they will GA Fixer. If you don't know what GA means, it means Gentleman's Agreement. It's a term that's mostly used in Call of Duty's competitive scene, and it's, you know, Fixer GA means that nobody will use Fixer, right? Whether that's in scrims or tournaments. Now, if a big tournament shows up, like another $8,000 event, you could possibly see Fixer, because some people will just be, I don't really know the word, ignorant to the GA, I guess, and just say, hey, I'm playing for $8,000. I'm not, you know, I don't care what you guys think. But if everybody keeps their competitive integrity and doesn't scrim teams that use Fixer, then, you know, maybe it'll be more prominent and teams will start to say, okay, we actually need to GA Fixer. But until then, I don't know. I think the main people pushing this are Nex and Pix, who apparently are teaming together now. So we'll see how this turns out. I mean, Fixer won't be in play, and for very good sniper players, Phantom is going to be just as deadly. Just they can't see through smoke. So we'll see how this shapes up and what happens with it. I personally think that Fixer is not very healthy for the meta currently, but at the same time, I don't really think GAing things is the way to go most of the time. But hey, maybe I'll enjoy watching games without Fixer if it's GA'd. We'll see. Last but not least, I'm still wondering who is going to join Sat's team. I know they're a team of 3. For those of you who don't know, there's Sat, Cloh, and Emitpain. 3 spectacular players. You got Cloh on the supports like Dahlia, Saint, things like that. You're going to have Emitpain on probably the snipers and some of the other DMR heavy characters. Then you have Sat, who can play characters like Dallas and Chalk and or not Chalk, but other lurkers and stuff like that. He came to me and even said, we're looking for a 4th, preferably an Anvil or a Chalk player. And the first thing that came to my mind was Bop. But now we know where Bop is currently, and that is playing with Frag out, Gronky, and Kuhl. So we'll see what happens with that team. There's a bunch of other free agents out there for right now, but I just wanted to make this quick video to just put my opinions out there about what happened with Tier 1, what's happening with Nex's new team, and to also gather your opinions. What do you guys think about this? I know a lot of you were fans of Tier 1. A lot of people were fans of the players on Tier 1, especially Frag out, Gronky, and Nash, who's besides Gronky, is Twitch channels go kind of crazy every night, especially during tournament day. So let me get your thoughts on what's happening. What's your opinions? Do you think that this new roster with Frag out and Gronky, Kuhl, and Bop is going to be even better than the Tier 1 we've seen in the last 2 8Ks? Do you think Nex's roster with Pix, Codner, and Ink is going to be good itself? Is that going to be better than what Tier 1 was? Is that going to be better than what 7 Deadly Sins was with Leo? Let me know your guys' thoughts. And also, hey, you guys know a bunch of free agents out there. Some of you may even know some cracked players. Drop in the comments below what you think about those teams, and who do you think would be a good fit for Sat, Cloh, and Emitpain's team? What do you guys think would be a good fit for them? I mean, I'm so excited about Road Company Comp, man. The scene is going nuts right now. We just had our second 8K, and now teams are really starting to grind and get together. Also, 2v2 Wingman is out. Make sure you go and play those. I'm pretty sure CMG will have some 2v2 chalice for that. So if you want to make some quick cash, go ahead and jump on there. If you got the skills, get the cash, baby. Remember, save the day, get paid, look good while doing it too, baby. Oh, make sure you follow me on Twitter at realBluTV, and don't forget to keep grinding.